I used to look at you and see a future, but now I only see the distance growing between us, a gap that feels insurmountable with every passing day. Every moment we share feels more like a reminder of what we once had, rather than the love that should be blossoming now. It's like watching a beautiful painting fade away. I thought we were building a life together, but lately it feels like I'm just going through the motions, lost in a dream that no longer includes you. The laughter we used to share has been replaced by silence, and I can't help but wonder if we're simply two strangers living under the same roof. I find myself reminiscing about the early days, wishing we could return to that passion, but the spark has dimmed and I don't know how to reignite it. Every time I try to connect with you, it feels like I'm speaking a different language. The intimacy we once had has slowly evaporated, leaving me feeling isolated. The little things that used to bring me joy now feel burdensome, like I'm carrying a weight that's pulling me further away from the love I once cherished. I can't shake the feeling that we're on different paths now. What once united us now feels like a series of choices that have driven us apart. I used to see a future filled with love and happiness, but now I find myself questioning if we even belong in each other's lives anymore. With each passing day, the affection I once felt is waning, and I'm left wondering if we've outgrown the love we once held so dearly. It's painful to acknowledge, but my heart is drifting. The emotions that once ignited my soul have been replaced by a sense of emptiness I can't ignore. I remember when every look you gave me sent butterflies through my stomach, but now those feelings have faded, replaced by a heavy sadness. I find myself avoiding conversations about our future because deep down, I know we're not headed in the same direction anymore. Every time I reach for you, I feel a barrier between us, as if we're trapped in a routine that's lost its magic and is now just a series of obligations. We've shared so many memories, but lately I've begun to realize that I'm holding onto a past that doesn't reflect the present reality of our relationship. There was a time when our love felt unstoppable, but now I can't help but feel like we're standing still while everything around us is moving forward. I never thought I would say this, but the truth is that I'm losing the desire to be close to you. It's a realization that feels both freeing and devastating. I see glimpses of the person I fell in love with, but they're overshadowed by the reality of who we've become, two individuals drifting apart. Love is supposed to lift us up, but lately, I feel like I'm being weighed down by our unresolved issues and unmet needs. Every time I look at you, I'm reminded of the distance that has grown between us, a gap that feels impossible to bridge as we continue to drift. I can't keep pretending everything is fine when inside I'm feeling more disconnected with each passing moment. It's exhausting and I'm losing hope. I wish I could rewind time to when we were in sync, but now it feels like we're singing different songs and I don't know how to find the harmony again. It hurts to admit that I'm feeling more like a roommate than a partner. The warmth of love has been replaced by a cold, indifferent routine. Every time we argue, it feels like another piece of my heart shatters. I can't keep fighting to hold on to something that's slipping away. Our love used to be a fire, but now it feels like smoldering ashes. I keep trying to fan the flames, but nothing seems to rekindle the heat. I'm starting to wonder if the love we once shared was just a phase, one that has now run its course, leaving behind only memories of what once was. I never thought I'd reach this point, but here I am, feeling more like a spectator in my own life, watching our love story fade into the background. It's painful to recognize that the things I used to admire about you have become the things I find challenging. It's as if our love is unraveling at the seams. I'm left questioning the future of our relationship. Can love truly endure when it feels more like a burden than a blessing? Every time I think of us, I feel a heaviness in my heart. It's not the love I once cherished, but a growing sadness that makes me want to retreat. It's hard to confront the reality that love can fade. I used to believe in forever, but now it feels like we're just trying to survive each day. The little moments that once brought us closer now feel distant and irrelevant, as if we're living in separate worlds with no way to connect. I've been searching for signs that we can revive what we had, but all I see are reminders of how far we've fallen from that place of joy. In the end, I need to prioritize my own happiness. It's time to face the reality that love shouldn't feel like a chore or a burden, and I can't keep holding on to something that no longer brings me joy. I keep searching for signs that things will change, but all I find are reminders of the distance that has formed between us, leaving me feeling more alone than ever. When I think about us, I feel a growing sense of sadness, like a shadow looming over what was once a bright and joyful connection. It's painful to admit that I'm longing for a love that feels more like a dream than a reality. I can't keep living in this fantasy. Every day that goes by feels like I'm watching our love fade away. The memories of laughter and joy are now overshadowed by silence and indifference. I used to feel excited at the thought of seeing you, but now it feels like a weight, as if I'm obligated to fulfill a role that no longer fits me. I can't shake the feeling that we've lost our way. The love that once brought us together is now a distant memory, and I don't know how to find it again. I find myself wondering if we're just holding on for the sake of comfort rather than genuinely wanting to be together. It's a painful realization. The intimacy we once shared has transformed into a distant echo, and I'm left grappling with the emptiness that fills the spaces between us. It's difficult to let go of the love we had, but the truth is that I am losing the desire to fight for something that feels increasingly unfulfilling. I never thought I would be here, but I'm beginning to accept that falling out of love doesn't mean I didn't love deeply. It just means I'm evolving. As I reflect on our journey together, I realize that what once felt like a beautiful adventure has turned into a series of missed connections. I want to believe that love can endure through anything, but with each passing day, I'm reminded of how far apart we've drifted. It's hard to accept that our love has changed, but I can't ignore the feelings of disappointment that have crept into my heart. I miss the excitement of our love, the spontaneity that once filled our days. Now it feels like we're stuck in a routine that's slowly draining us. I can't help but feel that we're living in a ghost of our past. The spark that once ignited our love has dimmed, leaving us in the shadows. Every time I try to engage with you, I'm met with walls that seem insurmountable, leaving me feeling more isolated than ever in this relationship. I've tried to hold on to the hope that things will get better, but deep down, I know that I can't keep living in a state of uncertainty. What was once a passionate connection now feels like a faded photograph, a reminder of the beauty that has slowly slipped through our fingers. I find myself longing for the days when our love felt effortless. Now, every interaction seems fraught with tension and misunderstandings. The laughter we used to share has been replaced with awkward silence, and I'm left wondering if we can ever find our way back to each other. It's hard to confront the reality that love can change, but I've come to understand that falling out of love doesn't diminish what we once had. I wish I could capture the moments of joy we shared, but all I see now are reminders of how disconnected we've become. The intimacy that once defined us feels like a distant memory, and I can't help but wonder if we're both just pretending to be okay. I've realized that love shouldn't feel like a struggle. I deserve to feel valued and cherished, but lately I've been feeling anything but.